Recording. All righty. We are here live. It is a beautiful Saturday morning in the middle of summer. And before we get started, we got some people joining us from all over the world. So why don't you drop in the chat where you're joining us from, what you're grateful for. And the third thing you can drop in the chat is what was a big win that you had this week. Since last Saturday, it could be a little win, it could be a medium win, it could be a big win. It doesn't matter. What was a win that you had in this last week? My name is Coach Gabe. This is Production of Leaders Saturday. We do this call for free every single Saturday to empower you, to make you better. Okay, so I want you to engage. I want you to ask questions. I want you to drop comments. What's up, D. McCoy, my brother? My brother from South Carolina, Myrtle Beach, just connected here live. So where are you joining us from? What are you grateful for? And what was a win that you had this past week? You can unmute yourself if it's easier for you or drop it in the chat. I'm grateful for the opportunity to wake up healthy, to be in a new apartment this week, to be with my wife and my daughter Lena resting. So I'm grateful to be able to show up consistently because guess what? There's 18 weeks left in the year. Go ahead, guys. Tell me what you're grateful for. Tell me about your wins. Tell me where you're connected from. Let's hear it.
I'm in West Palm Beach, bro. I'm in a business vacation trip, and I am thankful for this amazing call, for this view, just for planet Earth in general, man. And like, I really value all the beings that exist that makes up this world, and actually this call as well. So
Fantastic. West Palm Beach, a business trip. That's freedom. Right now, everyone is looking for an opportunity to work from home. And Enagic is a leadership-driven opportunity. Who's next? Who wants to tell us? What about a win? Who had a win in the past week that they want to share? My aunt from Panama says, Panama, I'm grateful for my health. And my win this week was becoming certified in water safety. Congratulations, Thea. Deanna said, I'm grateful for new beginnings. Martin Boyd said, I'm in Sterling, Virginia, grateful for a good daughter-in-law. Big win was to have an old car taken away. Get rid of the old and in with the new. DJ Brian, DJ Q said, Pennsylvania, grateful for my friends and for their support. Accomplishment this week was my friends and I got our first client through our entertainment business. So kudos to you, brother, for that. Kudos for your wins.
Thank you. Thank you.
Anybody else want to share a win or something that they're grateful for? Going once, going twice. Nobody. You guys are still waking up. All right, it's okay. What's going on, brother Randy? Welcome. So the goal of this call, right, is to help you become a leader, okay? The first thing you can write down, and I'm going to say this every week, is leaders do not think like followers. Leaders do not think like followers. Their thought process and their thoughts, they think differently. And that's what makes them a leader. And today's call, we're going to dive into, the title of today's call is True Leadership Defined. And the topic that we're going to be studying are 6 keys to leadership. What are 6 points that you can take away with you, write them down, put them on the wall, and then teach them to somebody else, okay? So we're going to look at 6 different keys to leadership, all right? And before we even dive into that, I want to tell you guys, leaders take full ownership for everything. Leaders take full ownership for everything. And in today's call, what's going on, DJ? Thank you, man. Appreciate it. You can never get too comfortable with one style of hair, so we got to change it up. That's why I shave my head, because you can't be too comfortable. And if you don't have hair, buy yourself a wig and don't be so serious at life, all right? So leadership take responsibility for everything, guys. Leaders don't blame anyone. If the team wins, they're responsible for the win. If the team loses, they're responsible for the loss. All right. And in this call, I want you to take away one big point that you can apply. So you're going to hear a lot of different points. You're going to hear a lot of different things here on this call, but I want you to take away one thing, because you're going to hear a lot. So take some notes, pay attention. I'm going to have this recorded and uploaded to the YouTube channel so you can hear it again. All right. John Lopez said, before we get started, South Carolina, I'm grateful to be surrounded by good people like you guys, and I get to meet so many amazing people. Sorry for the late response. You're good, brother. Enjoy your breakfast. All right. So leaders take full ownership for everything. If you consider yourself a follower right now, or you're like, man, I know that I could be a great leader, but I'm not yet. All right. Remember this. Every leader was once a follower. Every single leader was once a follower. So if your goal is to become a stronger leader, to lead a team, to lead your family, to lead your children, you have to start with yourself. And leaders don't think like followers. All right. Last week, if you were on the call, we spoke about duplication, right? How to duplicate ourselves, how to teach things with a simple manner, and how by doing that, we can really learn and become a better leader, because the one that's teaching is also learning. So if you want to grow, start teaching somebody, start inviting people, start doing things that are going to allow you to teach what you're good at. If you're a barber, start teaching how to cut hair. If you're a carpenter, like my buddy Randy, start teaching other people, do a course, do a call, say, hey guys, I'm going to give a free call. I don't know about carpentry. I would love to learn about carpentry. Hey, you need to buy this tool. I'm going to show you how to build a table. So if you're great at something, begin to teach it. If you're great at electricity, teach it. That's how you become a better leader. So we spoke about that last week. And this week, we're going to be talking about the 6 points, okay? The 6 keys to leadership and what is true leadership, all right? And before we get started, I want you guys to tell me, I want you to drop it in the chat. What do you think is true leadership? It can be a one-liner, it can be a two-liner, but when you think about the word true leadership, right? Because there's a lot of leaders that manipulate. There's a lot of leaders that they're looking for something.
Literally, yeah. No, literally, when you said that, what came to my mind in one word was honesty. You know, something I appreciate about my leader right now is just the transparency, the level of honesty he brings to every conversation.
Honesty. That's a great word for true leadership. Grateful to have a new family at church, new friends, and for my new business. Welcome, Jose. Glad to see you back. So when you hear the word true leadership, what does it mean to you? True leadership. What do you envision? What do you think about? If you were going to pick somebody to follow, what do you see in that person that you're like, okay, I'm going to let this person drive the car and I'm going to jump in the back seat or in the passenger seat, and I'm going to let this person drive the car where they could kill me. They could crash, and that's my life. So when you think about leadership, it's the same thing. What is true leadership for you? Be able to say the buck stops here. Can you expand on that, Mr. Boyd? The buck stops here.
So, yeah, right or wrong, just an example this past week, Biden, he's being, getting a lot of bad press because of the way things are going there, getting people out of Afghanistan. And he said, it's okay. Come to me, you can complain to me. If it's not going well, it's my fault. The buck stops here. That's his way of saying, look, I'm the leader, and right or wrong, this is what I have done. And I'm not condoning him one way or the other, whether he was right or wrong, but I think that's a good example of taking ownership of the situation, good or bad. The buck stops here.
The buck stops here. Thank you. Jimena said caring for others and teaching them how to care for themselves. Randy said patience. All right. And what Mr. Boyd said leads me to my first point. Leadership comes with responsibility. So if you want to be a leader, it comes with requirement. Everybody wants to be a leader. Everybody wants success. Everybody wants a lot of money, but not everybody shows up when they don't want to show up. So the first point is leadership comes with responsibility. You are responsible for yourself. You are responsible for your team. Okay, like I said before, if your team wins, it's because you coach them. I always relate it back to basketball. You're the coach on the sideline. You can't make the actual basket, but it's your job to develop the play, to develop the strategy, to get your team in physical conditioning, to get your team ready so they don't get tired in the game. You're not going to make the basket. Your team is going to make it, but you're responsible. If they win, you're responsible. If they lose, you're responsible. You can't do it for them, but you can help them. So leadership comes with responsibility. Deanna said true leadership is a person that lives what they talk about and someone that has compassion. Leadership by living it, said David. Alexis said integrity, honesty, the responsibility, and the ability to listen and to protect their team. All right? So as a leader, you wanted to say something?
Yeah. I just wanted to say, cause I'm not able to write it. So I think it's one of the things is the ability to inspire other people as well.
You guys are taking my notes. It's like you guys read my notes. Fantastic. Mehdi said the ability to inspire other people. Okay. So my second point for you is true leadership is not about control. It's about service. True leadership is not about control. It's about service. How are you serving your team? How are you serving your husband? How are you serving your wife? How are you serving your kids? How are you serving your teammates? A lot of leaders manipulate, and they do it so strategically that you might not even notice that you're being manipulated. You might not even notice that they're manipulating you, but they are. Leadership is about service. You are here to serve. You're not here to be served. That is true leadership. The ability to develop trust as a leader. That's a huge one, Kevin. I love that one. Kevin said the ability to develop trust as a leader. Because I might come onto your team, I might come into your business, I might come into your life, but you're not going to give me 100% of your trust immediately. Or maybe you are, because maybe you're that type of person. I don't know. But you have to be a person that they can trust. A leader is someone that you can trust, that you know that if they say that they're going to be there at 9 a.m., they're going to be there. They're not going to leave you, waiting. That they say if they're going to do something, that they do it, that they execute. So I love that, Kevin. That's a huge point. The ability to trust as a leader. If people can't trust you, you need to check yourself and ask yourself, why can I not be trusted? Because if they can't trust you, you can't develop yourself as a leader. So that's a great point to bring up. So the first point was leadership comes with responsibility. The second point is true leadership is not about control. It's about service. All right. So who can give me an example of service, right? I'll give you one. An example of service is you have a teammate and they're sick at the hospital and you go visit them. That's a form of service. That's a form of you giving up your time to go visit your teammate, to go visit your family member, to go visit. That's service. So there's many different ways you can serve, like I said, your spouse, just by making them breakfast. That's a form of service. True leaders are always thinking about how can they serve the others, right? Which is going to get very interesting here now with some of these points that we're going to cover coming up. I love this call. Being the best role model, Jose Bustamante said, being the best role model possible, following Jesus' steps as he served, he loved, and he trained his disciples. What's going on, hermano Timmy Armstrong here live? Thank you for sharing, Jose. The third point, true leadership is not about power. It is about empowerment. I love this one. This is my favorite one out of all 6 that we're going to go over here today. True leadership is about empowerment. Have you guys ever been in maybe a church service, maybe a seminar, maybe one of these Zoom calls, and you're like, Gabe, that was such a powerful call? Drop a 3 in the chat if you've ever been on one of my calls and said, that was such a powerful.
I say it every week.
Okay. Well, what I want you to start saying is, Gabe, that call empowered me. Because the goal is not for the call to be powerful. The goal is for the call to empower you so that you become better, so that you become a leader, so that you develop that leader that lives inside of you. It's not about me showing up here every Saturday and making it a powerful call. Oh my God, Gabe, I wish I could speak like you. No, you can. I want you to be empowered. So true leadership is not about power. It's about empowerment. Have you ever heard a preacher give a message and you're like, oh my God, that was such a powerful message? Well, did that preacher make you a powerful preacher? Did that preacher teach you how to prepare a powerful message? Did he teach you how to do an outline? Oh, that was such a great speech. Did they show you how to develop a great speech? So leadership is about empowerment. It's not about power. It's about how are you teaching other people to do what you do, which takes us to our call from last week on duplication. I showed Mehdi as an example how I prepare my outline for these calls, and I gave him a copy of it. And I said, if you want it, I'll show you how I say there's 18 weeks left. There's the 4 points of leadership. This is what we're going to talk about. This is the title of the call. This is the topic of the call. Here's point number 1, point number 2, point number 3, and the closing. So it's about your ability to teach others and empower others along the way. That is true leadership. That person made me great. That person made me great. Phil Jackson helped Michael Jordan be great. He helped him along the way. So true leadership is you making other people great, making other people win, saying, hey, I want to help you. I want to serve you. I want to make you better. Where are you struggling? Is it in your physical? Is it in your spiritual? Is it in your emotional? Is it in your business life? Is it in your financial life? Where are you struggling? So maybe I can give you a couple tips to help you. That's what Jesus did. And that's what Jesus did daily. Okay. Number 4, true leadership is not about manipulation, but rather inspiration. That's what Mehdi just said. True leadership is about inspiration. It's not about motivation. It's not about manipulation. True leadership is about inspiration. What can you give me of value that is going to inspire me to become the best version of me? What is it? It's not about manipulation. It's not about motivation. It's about inspiration. Deuce Trey. Let me give my homie Deuce Trey here a wave. Okay. So true leadership is about inspiration. If you're following someone and they don't inspire you, then maybe you need to find a new leader. Maybe you need to find someone that inspires you, someone that gives you fire when you hear them speak, when they teach you, and that they can teach you to do the same thing. Inspiring people is the highest form of leadership. You should write that down. Inspiring people is the highest form of leadership. If you are inspiring people through your work, through your love, through your efforts, through your teachings, through your life, through your stories, through your writings, through your books, through your videos, that is the highest form of leadership. Inspiring people. Why? Because motivation dies, but inspiration lives inside. You can write that one down. Motivation dies, but inspiration lives inside. That's why the first 2 letters are I-N, inspiration, because it's inside you. Brother Benji, you wanted to say something?
Yeah. I can't write it because I'm driving. So what I noticed for me, what I look in, is that any true leader always helps the people that they're leading overcome their obstacles.
A true leader helps the people that they're leading overcome their obstacles. Fantastic. I love that. I love that because sometimes we have obstacles in our lives that we don't even know that we have. So the leader's job is to help you identify and then overcome those obstacles. That was great. Gabe, what was the last point that you said? The last point that I said was true leadership is about inspiration. True leadership is not about manipulation. It's about inspiration. So true leadership is about inspiration. Okay?
Motivation dies, but inspiration
Lives inside. You like that one, Mr. Boyd? Coming in hot. Because there's a bunch of motivational speakers out there. There's a bunch of motivational speakers that we listen to, and we get really, really, really excited. And then 4 days go by, and we're back to our same selves. And we got to hear the and it doesn't drive us to change. It doesn't drive us to change, right? So the next point is number 5. Number 5 is true leadership. You guys ready for this one? You guys ready for this one? This one's going to blow you away. True leadership is not about people. True leadership is not about people. It is about purpose. So we think, we think leadership is about people, but it's not about people. The people come after. People come as a byproduct of the purpose. You have to discover a purpose, whatever it is for you, and you commit to pursue that purpose. And the people are going to join you along the way when you lead yourself, when you develop your purpose and your vision and your mission, and then you can lead others. That is how true leadership is defined. True leadership is not about people. It's about purpose. The people come as a byproduct of you having a clear and concise purpose for your life. And then you commit to pursue that purpose. And you say, I am going to accomplish this. And then the people are going to be like, wow, DJ Q is so committed to this purpose that I want to join him. I would love to collaborate. I would love to be a part of it. I would love to donate. Hey man, I got an extra $5,000. I would love to give them to you, because it's a tax write-off if I give it to you as a gift for you to help set up your new podcast. Whatever it is, it's purpose-driven. Love it. Purpose-driven is right. All right. So true leadership is not about people. It's about purpose. That's the 5th point. It's more about you pursuing something, right? Rather than pursuing people to follow you. It's more about you pursuing something that you are passionate about more than you seeking followers. The followers are going to come. Leaders do not seek followers. You can write that down. Leaders do not seek followers. Leaders do not seek followers. Why? Because they are confident in their ability to do what they do. And here's the thing. Every single person on earth has the seed of leadership inside of them. Every single one of us. Some water the seed and they let it grow. Some give up along the way. Some never water it. They just leave it out in the desert. But it's your job. That's why leadership is the core. It is the center. It is the most important part of anything and everything, any area of life, any industry. It doesn't matter. Leadership is the most important thing, in my opinion, to teach. That's why I love it. That's why I do these calls. All right. So number 6, you ready? True leadership is more about becoming than doing. True leadership is more about becoming than doing. And this is a little counter, it goes against the current, because most people say, you got to take massive action and action and action, and you got to do. But if you do, and you don't believe, and you don't become that person, then all of this action is worthless. Because you're going to get to the pinnacle, you're going to get to the top, you're going to get to that mountain, you're going to be like, okay, I did all these things and I made it to the top, and I may have all this money, but I'm miserable. But I'm miserable inside. I hate my life. Because you did, but you didn't become. You didn't slow down. You didn't take time to say, is this who I really am? Am I showing up as my authentic self? Do I even love who I am? Do I love who I'm becoming? Do I love my family? Am I there for my family? Am I supporting my spouse? So true leadership is more about becoming than doing. You have to become and believe that you are that leader, and then you begin to do. Randy, I love that emoji. So attitude is a product of belief. That's right. All right. So a leader is becoming something that they discovered about themselves. You discover leadership. You don't teach leadership. The person has to wake up, discover, and say, I am a leader, right? And in the process, they inspire and they influence others, and then they submit to that leader's vision. That's how it works. If you don't have a vision, the people will perish, right? So there needs to be a clear and concise vision. That's the 6th point. We love you too, Benji. So I'm going to give you a quick recap of them. Leadership comes with responsibility. Number 1, if you want to be a leader, you got to be responsible. You got to show up. You got to lead your team. You got to answer phone calls. You got to answer texts. You got to be there for those that you are leading. Number 2, true leadership is not about control. It's about service. You're here to serve, not to be served. Number 3, true leadership is not about power. It's about empowerment. Is that person empowering you to make you better? True leadership is not about manipulation. It's about inspiration. Is that leader, or are you inspiring somebody else? True leadership is not about people. It's about purpose. What is the purpose? The purpose is going to lead you to the vision and then the mission, and then you can lead others. Okay. And the last one is true leadership is more about becoming than doing. Who are you becoming in the process? Who are you being as a leader? Not what are you doing? Anybody can do a bunch of things, but it's who you become that's the most powerful part of becoming a leader. It's who you become in the process, in the journey. It's how you change, how you get better, how you improve, how you show up as your best self. That is more important than what you're doing. That's the most important part, is who you become in the process. Princess? I don't know what that means, but okay. All right. So that's all I got, guys. Did you guys enjoy that? Leadership starts with responsibility. Amazing, brother. Great way to start my day. You got it, champ. Leadership starts with responsibility. You cannot lead others until you lead yourself. That's where it begins and that's where it ends. Leading yourself first. If you're struggling in leading yourself, then find somebody that can help you get better in that area, because there's many different areas. So like Benji said, a leader helps you identify the obstacle, and then step 2 is overcome the obstacle. So you're like, I'm not struggling with this anymore. I already got past that. I'm on to the next. And you jump that hurdle and you get over it. That's what true leadership is. And leadership is the core and the center of everything, guys. If you can get better as a leader and lead yourself, all of your dreams, all of your desires, it'll be easy to accomplish them, because it all starts and ends with leadership. In your job, in your business, in your family, in your friends, anywhere you look, in your neighborhood, everything starts and ends with leadership. Enjoyed it very much. Absolutely great leader. Thanks, Abe. I love you, Thea. That's my aunt from Panama. Love you so much. Congratulations on your certification. We'll talk soon. Alrighty, guys. Well, drop a 3 in the chat if you enjoyed this. And I encourage you to lead somebody to join us next Saturday. We're going to actually be doing it at 10 a.m. next Saturday, 10 a.m., because we have some people in California and on the West Coast and in the Philippines and India that want to join us. So it'll be 7 a.m. for them. So we're going to do 10 a.m. next Saturday so that they don't have to wake up at 6 a.m. So we'll do 10 a.m., 30 minutes, clear cut. We start right at 9 a.m. sharp. So be on time so that you can grade yourself and give yourself an A+ at the end of the day for showing up on time. That's the last thing I'll tell you. You're welcome. You just don't want to wake up early, Gabe. We know. Yeah, all right, buddy. You want to challenge me to waking up early? I'm ready. Let's do it. So the last thing I'll tell you is your punctuality is a display of your character. If you show up on time, you have great character. If you're always late, you need to check yourself and ask yourself, why am I always late? Your punctuality is a display of your character, or a lack of character that exists. I love you guys. God bless you. Have a powerful Saturday, and I will see you soon.